What you think about that, dude?
Oh, this is so epic, bro.
All right, Mrs. Williams.
Hi, Mr. Williams. Are we talking to you or the camera?
We can talk to the trees. We can talk to the sky.
Hi, Sky.
We can talk to whatever we want.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah. So
Here we
we're
are.
back in San Diego.
We are. This is we're back. We're at the launch pad,
Yep.
the Reggae Ranch.
We had a whirlwind few weeks.
Didn't we?
Tell me all about it.
Okay,
Start
so
with PLA. We went up to.
yeah, we went up to San Francisco
Yeah.
for the Public Lands Alliance Conference. Did we already talk about Fox 5 and KPBS?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we went up to San Francisco for the Public Lands Alliance Conference, which was super fun. We met so many great people. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And we did our presentation on the work that we do with Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park and the Sequoia Parks Conservancy, which was super fun. So that was a great presentation. We met a lot of cool people. We learned some cool stuff. We went to a couple different seminars that were really informative.
Yep. We met a guy that's going to the moon.
We met a guy that's going
around the moon.
Around the moon.
First civilian.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Had some great Thai food.
Yep.
In a little hole in the wall place there. And then we flew to Austin and we got to stay with Dave and Marta. Hi, Dave and Marta. Thank you for your hospitality. And we were there for just under a week and we did the South by Southwest presentation together.
Yep.
Which was super fun.
Yep.
Minus the fact that your dazzling intro was not included in the recording on their end.
I think they didn't want me to upstage you. Is that's the only thing I could
the literal only
logically think of.
It's the only explanation.
Yeah. So hopefully when we have that, but they took pictures of us too, like a lot.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get those pictures and I'll make a nice video with the full recording, well, minus my part.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So
South by Southwest was cool. Shout out to everybody that we saw there. I did my first book signing, like official book signing. That was the fanciest book signing I've ever done too, like a book signing line like that.
Yeah.
That was cool. So they
and
had
your books like sold out on the second day.
Well, we had 5 left when we left. But
3.
Yes, 3 left when we left. Yeah.
On the second day.
On the second day. So
Right.
You're right.
So
okay.
I'm sure by the time the day ended, they were gone.
That's fair. Yeah. I meant to go back in there and check, but we didn't get to. So South by Southwest was cool. Austin has changed a lot. We did a really awesome, so we had the presentation on Saturday afternoon, and then we had the book signing, and then on Sunday morning, we did a trail cleanup with the Trail Conservancy down at Chicano Park and Festival Beach on Lady Bird Lake. And that was amazing. We picked up like more than 30 bags of trash, and Gossamer gave some really great prizes, so thank you, Gossamer, for that. And then we came back here, and we launched the book the next day, like officially. So all of that was before the book was officially published. We were able to do a lot of stuff running up to publication day, which was March 12th, that Tuesday. And we had a lovely day, and we ended it at Diesel in Del Mar, and we got, we did book reading. We had Man of the Forest and Olympic there playing some music as people were entering and exiting. I signed books to Green Hills, which like I need to text them after this and be like, by the way, I'm still like reeling that I got to do that, because like everything's just been moving so fast that I haven't even really had time to be grateful.
Because you've never heard them play Green Hills live.
I haven't heard them play Green Hills live. I mean, like, no, I haven't ever, because they haven't even played it at the house. They were playing like the recording at the house in 2022.
Right.
And I've heard it on the podcast every single time we do one, but not ever live. So that was magical. Vinny and Natasha were there from Babe Kombucha, and so we had like so much kombucha. And then Craig brought the S'more Than a Feeling muffins in the berry blue, which were just absolutely delightful. That's literally all we ate the next day was muffins all day long. And I was just like, as I was standing there, I was thinking, I was like, there were a bunch of new faces that I, like people that I hadn't known, but every face that was in that audience, except for you, is somebody that I met as a result of the work that we do at Hiking My Feelings. Yeah. So like Mary was there, Michelle was there, freaking Jason was there from my talk in Huntington Beach, DJ Dirt in the house, showing up. Ash and Nate were there. Ash was at my first talk on our first group hike. It was just so cool to see like a mix of people that we met because of Hiking My Feelings, people that were connected to but hadn't met yet in real life, because those gals, Felicia and her friend, were there, and we've been talking on, like I was telling them how to book the TCT last year. We were talking about guiding them on the TCT last year. They couldn't get their mom group together. So like people that we've been communicating with but never met in real life were there, and then just like brand new people.
Yeah.
And going back to the first bookstore that I ever did a book signing at. So it was just like this really nice mix of like nostalgia and gratitude and just total awe for how far we've come.
And that South by Southwest stage was the first one that you had talked on.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
That was cool. So it was the same, I was sitting in the same spot on the same stage in the same room that I did my first ever speaking engagement at, which was at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
I like to start hard, I like to end it hard, or like re-ramp it hard. I like to launch things. That was super fun. And then so we had, we did the book signing, and then we had dinner, and then we came back to the ranch. And for like, so that was the 12th, 13th. So up until, let's see, Tuesday was the 19th, 18th, 17th. So up until, so the first 17 days of the month were absolutely blissful. Totally spectacular. Mm-hmm. And there were a couple things that I was thinking about while I was doing this. One, in my book and in life and in our workshops, I talk about how being busy was a coping mechanism for me. And that's true. Like I overcommitted at work because I wanted to feel valuable, and it was easier to overcommit at work than to feel my feelings. So if I was busy, then I could avoid pain. But now that I've healed from the pain, and we were busy these couple weeks, I was like, I'm not doing this because I'm running from something. So it is possible and it is okay to enjoy being busy. And that felt like a really nice thing to come back around on, and to be busy and to enjoy it and not have it be something that's like an escape mechanism, but like really the first 17 days of the month were honestly a victory lap. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So that was super fun. And on Wednesday, after my book signing last week, I got on the internet because I was like updating the website with all the places you can buy the book. And I was trying to find the link for Barnes & Noble. So I went to the Barnes & Noble website, looked up the book, and then I was like, oh, check availability for in-store pickup. And so I put in the San Diego zip code, and it's like 20 or 30 stores within 100 miles of San Diego carry the book. And then I did like the Strout zip code up in the North Bay. Same thing, like 20 or 30 stores carry it. And then I was like, what about Dover, New Hampshire? And I was like, and there's stores in Dover. And I was like, what about where I grew up? And I was like, there's stores in Missouri. There's stores in, like nothing in Overland Park, but like there's Austin, Texas has the book. Minneapolis, Minnesota has the book. Oregon, Seattle, like, and then I was like,
it's everywhere.
Yeah. So for the sake of talking, it's definitely in any kind of like recreation type destination. And so I was like, okay, well, we had just come from in town and we had been on the road for 2 weeks. So we were like, we're just going to go back to the ranch. We're just going to chill for a bit. So we chilled. We did some follow-ups from all the great people that we met, like started setting meetings with some of the organizations that are interested in working with us after PLA and after South by Southwest. And then we went down on Tuesday this week to go down to Barnes & Noble, check the mail, run errands, get some more groceries, stuff like that. And up until like Sunday, I was like, I made a point every morning. I was like, Barry, I'm so proud of my emotional regulation. I haven't done the nosedive. Like, I am just cool as a cucumber. Like,
you had to jinx it, didn't you?
Yeah. It's like riding those waves. And then like I promptly PMS'd into nosedive of I nosedived into PMS. And like by the time Tuesday came around, like I woke up and I was just like weepy. And then I kind of like weeped all the way down the mountain. And then I was like,
are we going to talk about why?
Yeah, you want to talk about why?
We can touch upon it. Okay. I don't want to go into too much detail.
Okay, yeah, you hit it.
But that I might be moving on
yeah.
from Hiking My Feelings.
Yeah, so I didn't know if I could say that. Okay, I'll say it. So Tuesday morning, we've been having a lot of conversations. Here's the thing. Actually, you know what? This is actually really important. Life is not what you see on TV and in the movies or on social media.
Ours it is.
And ours it is. And
mostly.
Like, honestly, minus like when I'm actively in crisis, which is when I'm not posting. But once I've like wrapped my head around a crisis, I'm not afraid to share the crisis. But it's not healthy for me to go to social media when I'm in one. But here's the thing. If you've been paying attention at all or like following the adventures over the last few weeks, you're like, wow, they've done it. They made it.
They got books in bookstores across the country.
Sydney, she must be swimming in
South
it.
by Southwest.
Yeah, dude, public lands, like Sydney speaking. Both of those speaking engagements, I did not get paid and my travel was not paid for. Like, that was on us. And we spent the last of our money to go do that. And book sales, I won't see a dime of any book sales until October, and that's assuming that we've sold enough books to make up for the advance payments that I got before publication. So like, even if the book hits the bestseller list next week, I won't see a dime of that until October. So we've got, and if you look at our calendar, you're like, damn, they're going places. Like, they're going to be in Sequoia, they're going to be in Glacier, they're going up to Escalante. Like, they must be doing it. And we are. But right now, in this moment, we are this close to being royally sorry, you're going to have to bleep that out. But that's fine. That's where we're at. We don't have enough money to fix the van if something happens to the van. We don't have enough money to buy all the things we'd need to buy if we needed to go get jobs to then go live in a house or an apartment or something like that. If we don't have the money to fix this van, we clearly don't have enough money to get a new one. And with that, for me, comes a lot of shame because I feel like I should have this figured out by now. And I feel like if I was doing this right, air quotes, whatever the fuck that means, sorry, whatever that means, that we would have been like swimming in it by now, but that's not the reality for us. So Barry's been looking at it possibly getting a job, and I had sent him one over the weekend, and he sent in an application. And then on Tuesday, Barry, I woke up and he was like, I was like, where are you at? Because he was a little bit quiet on Monday, as was I, because like this was starting to sink in. The high of book launch time is starting to wear off. And he woke up and he was like, I'm going to miss working with you. And I just wept for the rest of the day into like an hours long panic attack. So we went to Trader Joe's. I was like floating outside my body while we went shopping. I couldn't tell you what we got if it wasn't our normal shopping thing. Thank God we eat the same thing every week, because if we were trying to like hunt for stuff, I would not have been able to participate. And then same kind of thing, just kind of wandering around aimlessly when I was at grocery outlet, and then crying at, or just being like totally just numb to the situation that was unfolding at our mailbox, which was like a really long waiting time. And then we got, like, as we were getting closer to Barnes & Noble, I was like, okay, pull it together. This is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. Like, please just be present for this. And I'm present for all of it. And that's the thing that's annoying, is I'm present and I'm aware that I'm disassociated. Whereas opposed to earlier in my life, I just wouldn't have known. And I've been like, I wonder what I did today. And so we get to Barnes & Noble, and this is indicative of my mental state. So I deploy a couple strategies that I learned in my Code Zero program, things that make me feel better when I'm in survival mode. And at this point, I'm in survival mode and actively moving into a panic attack. So I pick up a piece of trash, and then the thing that I think is a trash can isn't a trash can. So this planter that is empty, that looks like a trash can, has the audacity to not be a trash can. This inanimate object, immediately, that's a personal attack. So this is pushing me further and further towards the edge. And then we walk into the store, and I look at like the vision that I've always had for this moment since I was a little girl is as follows. Walk into Barnes & Noble or Borders, rest in peace Borders. And if it's not a window display, which like sometimes that happens, but I wasn't counting on it. The vision that I had for my author moment, first bookstore to ever carry my book, that I get traditionally published because I got a book deal. I had a vision of walking into Barnes & Noble, and it's like the first table that you see is just nothing but stacks of my books, and there's a line around the corner of people waiting to buy, and then I get recognized as the author, and some young woman comes up and tells me how much my first book changed her life, and would I please sign this one, and I say yes, and then we all cry, and life is grand.
Well, that happened at Diesel.
That did happen at Diesel, to be fair. So at Barnes,
they didn't know you were coming to Barnes & Noble's. I didn't call ahead.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be a call ahead thing. Yeah. No, I just wanted to effortlessly show up and float. And here's the other thing in this vision that I had, because I was a little girl. I'm wearing like this poofy princess dress, kind of like fluttery, flowy, poofy bottom. I don't wear dresses. So like this vision is already outdated and stupid. This is very much 90s Sydney having a dream. So anyway, that doesn't happen. So
Too much Sex in the City.
Yeah. Very clearly, I was very much a Carrie Bradshaw vision that I did not get to have.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be something?
So I walk in, table, nothing. New and noteworthy. I was like, oh, my book came out last week. It's still new. It's noteworthy. No. 3 whole big floor-to-ceiling stacks of books. Mine's not new, nor is it noteworthy. I also haven't been to a Barnes & Noble in forever, and even if I had, I doubt that they're all organized the same. So now I'm wandering the stacks, because someday, if there's ever a movie made about my life, and hopefully it's not a true crime documentary about my murder, because that would just be tragic, but like someday, in my mind movie, I'm walking through this bookstore. So now I'm like, well, my vision's done. So this is the moment, but now I've got to like live it to recreate it and write about it. So I'm wandering, hopefully also on the brink of a panic attack, also disassociated from my body, also deeply disappointed that this isn't playing out the way I thought it would when I was 5. So cute. I'm walking through the stacks. I'm like, no, it's not a business book. No, it's not world history. No, it's not manga. I don't know. Hard G, couldn't tell you. See, I don't read those books. And then I'm like, definitely not kids, not young adults, not romance, personal growth. So I go and I scan, and like this is also indicative of how I was just not present at all mentally, enough to function and like stand upright and maybe put words out of my mouth. But I'm looking at the stack of books and I can't actually read or see anything. I can't tell, is it like my brain looking at the shelf is unable to recognize the pattern through which these titles are organized. Is this alphabetical by title? Is it alphabetical by author? I don't know. Like I didn't know walking in what it would be, and I didn't know where it would be, and so like I walk right past the shelf that my book is on. Like I literally I was like looking at the book that had the front cover facing out, and mine was 2 books down, spine out only, and I just completely overlooked it. Didn't know what I was looking for, but I didn't see it. And then I go over to personal transformation. It's not there. Wellness, not there. Diets and exercise, I wouldn't think so, but not there. And so then this lady comes up to me, and she had seen me walking around like a space cadet, and she was like, can I help you find something? And I was like, yeah, I saw my book is online, and it's available for pickup, so I want to pick it up, but I can't find it on the shelf. And she's like, did we pull it for you? And so now I realize, I kind of like come to a little bit, I'm like, oh, I'm not communicating clearly, because she thinks like what I just said does not indicate that I'm an author that would like to sign the copy that is available in store. It sounds like I'm a customer looking for a book that I purchased that I can't find. So then I'm frustrated because I'm not communicating clearly, on top of the fact that I am like tear streaked and splotchy and swollen, on top of the fact that I just look at a shelf and I can't even understand what words are on a book cover. And then so we walk over and I'm like, oh, I was literally standing right here. She's like, would you like to sign it? I was like, yes. So we walk over.
Which is funny because they didn't ask you for any credentials.
Right.
ID, nothing. Like, so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, can I just walk into any bookstore and be like, I wrote that one?
You could be like, I'm Michael McConaughey. I'd like to sign Green Lights. Thank you.
Matthew?
Matthew?
Yeah. Michael McConaughey?
Oh, did I say Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll sign it. She's like, is Sharpie okay? I was like, yes. And then in a split second, I'm like, oh my God, like this is how weird my brain is. Like I can't read any titles or recognize my book on a shelf because my brain is fried and I'm panicking and also outside of my body. But when she says, would you like to use a Sharpie? In my mind, I immediately go to like one of the first campaigns I worked on at my first job at a PR firm was on Sharpie. Like Sharpie was one of my clients, and it was like a back to school campaign. And in my mind, I was like, I remember being in a meeting talking about Sharpies and was not thinking about signing books at the time, but like, look at how far I've come. And so like in one split second, I'm like, yes, have that mind vision, kind of like sign something, making sure, like I see Barry going for his camera, and then the lady gets out of the shot so fast, which like, it's fine if she doesn't want to be in the shot. But in the state that I was in, I was like, she is so repulsed by the way that I just opened this book to sign the inside cover, because there isn't like a signing page like right inside like my first book. So it's like, I have to like sign the inside of the cover, which like, I'm sure, like in my mind, I'm wondering like, is this a big faux pas? I don't know. I haven't done this before. Like this, am I breaking book rules? Am I breaking bookstore rules? I don't know. But she like darted so fast.
You're the author. You can do whatever you want.
Thank you. But in my current state, unaware, panicking, freaking out. So then she's like, oh, we got one of those stickers like signed by the author. And I was like, oh, cool. And so I thought she was going to put it on it, but then she just puts it on this little short stack of books that she's obviously at some point during her workday going to go return to the shelves. And I was like, can I have that back? Because she wasn't moving fast enough for me, because now I'm freaking out, and now I'm back up to full speed. And she's like not moving with the stickers and not doing that. Like I'm not going to get the moment where I get to see the sticker on it. So I was like, can I just see this so I can go put it on the shelf, get a picture of it, whatever. So I do that, get a picture, and then I bring it back. And she's like, good luck with that. Not unkindly, but not like...
Oh, she couldn't care less.
Could not care less. And I was just like...
Which is fine.
Which is fine. But now, here's what I want to do. I want to go down to like literally any other bookstore, any other Barnes & Noble, in any town, anywhere, and create the moment that I want. I'm not going to wear a dress because that's dumb.
I think you should.
I'm not going to, well, okay, maybe. I'm not going to like stack up books on the front table and like pretend that that's the thing, though I should. But if anybody's watching this and you're going to Barnes & Noble, you should go up to the counter and say, I went to the new and noteworthy section and I didn't see Hiking Your Feelings there. May I ask why? That's an invitation. Please do that. And if you do that, please record it. And even if you can't record it live, just let me know you did it, because that feels so awesome to think about. Like, because that sounds like something Swifties would do for Taylor. Like, if I was Taylor Swift back in the beginning of Taylor's career, and Taylor was like, hey guys, what's up? It's Tay-Tay. I just found out that my album's being sold at insert record store here, but it's not on the front table. It's like back in the deep stacks, and S is near the end of the alphabet, so it's low on the bottom. But if you could go up and ask them why it's not on the front table, that would be sweet. Then all the Swifties everywhere activate. I feel like that would be a cool moment. Anyway, so then I have this bookstore moment, and then I get out of the bookstore, and I didn't buy this book at this store because there was only one there that I could see. And I don't have money to buy my own books anymore. So we go, and then I get out, and then I sit down, and then I just sob, because I've worked really hard for that moment. And that's a true statement.
Yeah.
I've worked really hard to get to that point to be able to go do that.
Right. And then I had a very similar moment when I turned into my dad at Albertsons, because we were like all huffing and puffing coming out of there. We're like, well, I can't remember what we were going to get, but there was like 4 things, and like, so we usually kind of tag team that so nobody misses anything. So we were walking in together. You're like, I can't go in here.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I have to go in by myself. And I turned into my dad, and I'm like, because we don't, it's usually Trader Joe's or Grocery Outlet or something.
Right.
And like, so I don't know where anything is, and I'm just like in the middle of the aisles, just like looking up and down the aisles, like trying to find what's like, they have the. And I was like, all right, I know there's 4 things I need to get. I'm going to just call it at 3 and, whatever.
Yeah.
We got out of there. So,
Yeah.
So who knows? Is this going to be our last video? Probably not.
God, I hope not.
But it may be, is it the end of them? Potentially.
Potentially.
We have a few other things that I'm going to be involved with. Escalante.
Yeah. Sequoia.
Not so much Sequoia. Potentially.
Well, it depends on the timing of the job.
But yeah, mission trails.
In April. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I hate to disappoint all 600 people that are subscribed.
Hey, that would fill up Belly Up.
I think there's, I don't know. Well, whatever. Anywho, so we'll see. So donate here. I'll put a link in.
For the love, so I can at least hire some. Oh God. Oh, I don't know. So that seems to be the majority of the update.
Yep.
So yeah.
Lots of good things, lots of bad things.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Just like life.
We'll see.
Yeah. Lots of hard stuff, lots of fun stuff.
But either way, I'm proud of you. You crushed it.
I'm proud of you too. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being my buddy and getting everything done with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like, I don't not notice this, but I think, and I don't want to say I take it for granted. So it was a nice reminder when I heard Brendan mention like how well we work together, and just like we weren't even, like we don't have to talk. Like you set up everything at the bookstore thing, and I was doing my thing, like just the way we weave in and out of stuff. I've never worked with anybody that's like that. So thank you for always knowing my needs, probably before I even know I need it.
Well, we've been living and working together for 13 years.
Yeah.
Like, and 6 of those are in a van, or 5 are in a van.
That's true.
We better know what each other needs.
Yeah.
So,
Do I meet your needs?
Yeah.
Do I exceed your expectations?
Those tomato sandwiches.
Thank you, Lydia, for teaching me how to make tomato sandwiches. It's one of the highlights of our marriage right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well,
that says a lot. That means those tomato sandwiches must be really good.
Yeah, because our marriage is banging.